This is the DJI Pocket 4P, and this is the Insta360 Luna Ultra. As one of the few people that happens to have both, I've shot a ton of footage over the last couple months. And I wanna say right off the bat, both of these are fantastic cameras. Both have legitimate use cases. Both have some quirks that I'm not necessarily a fan of, but both I would say are absolutely worth your time, worth picking up, worth checking out. So today I'm gonna go over a few of the differences that I found to be most useful, and then the majority of this video, I'm hoping at least, is going to be a comparison just directly between the two, as well as some footage from the FX3 and a few clips from the Pocket 3 as well, if you are someone that is considering that. This video is obviously not sponsored by either DJI or Insta360. Part of the reason I'm wearing this Sony Alpha hat is because obviously neither brand would let me do a comparison if I was wearing another camera brand's hat. So these thoughts are my own, but if you do want to support the channel in some way, subscribing would be obviously incredibly helpful. And then there are a few different little accessories here and there, specifically going down to variable ND filters and hard ND filters that I'm going to talk about later. And if this video helps you with any purchasing decisions on either of these, using the affiliate links down below obviously gives me a small kickback without costing you anything. Now, both of these are on their 20mm length. I've gotten a ton of questions like if these could be your only video camera. So this is 20mm, and this is just like slightly closer than I normally have my view. So obviously it's a little bit wider. And with that secondary lens, you get a much tighter focal length. So this is roughly a 60mm equivalent. These are right next to each other in the same spot that I normally put my 35mm lens for talking head stuff. So I personally don't really like this look. I don't like a camera being so close to me. I don't like a TV screen or giant monitor with my face taking up most of it. But I do see some channels out there that do this. So here's what this looks like in a more controlled studio environment. Now back here to our 20mm, and I'll also add that I'm using the Mic Pro from the Insta360 camera, so this is syncing straight to that. Both mic packages are fantastic. I will give the edge in one way to the Insta360 because it has a direct USB-C port on the back, but it's a little bit bigger and just more cumbersome in general than the DJI mic. But the DJI mic, you have to have a separate specific charger for that, where I can take just like a regular USB-C cable and use this. So I like the size and form factor of the DJI one a little bit better. But with the Insta360 one, I don't have to worry about forgetting an extra cable. They both have their pros and cons. Speaking of pros and cons, a massive thing about the Luna Ultra is this detachable screen. It is both a pro and a con in that it just did this for what it's worth. Like, it's trying to conserve battery, so it just turned off the display here. And so now I'm back to turning it back on. But in doing that, it enabled smart tracking. So now I have to move this up a little bit and reframe just because I wanted to make sure I was still recording. So just another small thing. This is also really small, a little bit flimsy, and I have no idea what their policy is in terms of like, if I break this or something, like how easy is it to get a new one? That said, it is really helpful and you can control literally everything because this is the interface. The problem here that I found is that using the DJI Mimo app is something I can do. And the app is great. It just has a few things that like are just not the exact same interface as using the actual screen. And this little, I don't even remember what they call this thing, the frame tap, 100% in my opinion, they were taking this from one of their other little smartphone gimbal things and tried to find a way to do this because they were worried about this on the Insta360. This has two buttons, one being the ability to like control the camera back and forth, and then a start, stop, record button, as well as like a power button. But the interface on here is not the same. Like, there's just a ton of issues with this. I'm glad that they have it. But if I actually want to go in and change things, I'm way more likely to go into the app. Like, one of the things I had to do, and the reason I'm using my phone instead of this, is because I wanted to change to the secondary lens. And I don't know how to do that on here. I know how to zoom in and out slightly, but I can't just go straight from the 1X to the 3X. It was like giving me like 3.1, and then I would hit it the other way and it would be 2.9. So I don't like this setup. I don't like that it has a proprietary cable that I have to use to charge it in the same way that I have to charge the other thing. So if I'm gonna bring the DJI Osmo Pocket 4P somewhere and I want to use this or the mic, I have to bring two separate proprietary cables for that, which is super annoying. All right, now that we've seen what these kind of look like, let's jump into my kind of regular Lumix S5 II footage, and we'll see how that looks. And I'll be able to kind of hold the cameras, show them, compare them, all that stuff. All right, so to make this kind of part short and sweet, here's the biggest things to know about both of these if I'm gonna just TLDR this whole thing. So the Luna Ultra, available in the United States, still is a great camera. One of the things that I think that they need to do is reduce some of their pretty intense noise reduction that they've got going on here. I'm fine with a little bit of noise reduction, but there are times where it just gets so intense that it's just kind of like soft, mushy garbage. And I would rather have a noisy image than a mushy image. In good lighting and in most normal use cases for this, I think it looks great. I would say for the people that are really bummed about not being able to get the 4P in the United States, this is a worthy alternative. If this was the only thing available, I would be stoked. If I only had this, I would be really excited. It does all the things. I think that there are a lot of things about this interface that are even a little bit better. And I think that the telephoto lens on here has like a more unique look to it as well. I think the whole ecosystem is good. Now, if you were looking for ultimate image quality, if the image quality is the thing that you were looking for specifically, the D-Log 2 profile on the Pocket 4P is legitimately amazing. The regular D-Log profile is pretty good. I know that my friend Dave Herring just made a video about his experience with this, and he was talking about how he just uses the regular D-Log profile because it's already really good. I have the Pocket 4 as well, and I've been shooting all my Instagram reels and stuff like that with it. And that camera also like looks great in D-Log, and it is a significantly bigger upgrade over the Pocket 3, but the D-Log 2 is what's like the game changer. What's the like, whoa, this thing is special thing about this. You can't get D-Log 2 in the telephoto lens. It's not the same sensor. You're not going to be able to do that. So is it an annoyance? Yes. But would I rather have it only on the wide lens than not have it at all? Also, yes. So if you're going to spend the vast majority of your time on the wide lens and you want the best image quality possible, this is absolutely worth doing what you need to do to get one. As a quick plug, these all come with little cases and stuff, especially if you get the bundles, which I definitely would recommend. I've been using this little bag. I don't even remember necessarily what it's called specifically, but it's from Clever Supply Co. Obviously, I talk about their stuff a lot, but I'll link this in the description down below. And I found that this ends up being really good because it has multiple pockets in here where you can store the light that comes with this stuff, the microphones, the cables, ND filters, all that kind of stuff. And so if you just want to go out and have like a really compact thing, I really like this, but obviously any fanny pack, as we call them in the United States, would work for that. The last thing I'll say is that one of the things that if you're newer to these cameras or you're a photographer, you follow this channel, but you're like, hey, these are affordable video options that I could, use to make some kind of more cinematic stuff to go alongside my photography work. One of the things to do that is to put an ND filter on your camera. Shooting at 24 frames a second and a 1/50th shutter speed is going to give you that natural motion blur and look a lot more professional. And especially if you're going outside doing things, ND filters are incredibly good. Now, I have the hard stop NDs for the Luna Ultra from Insta360. I think they're great. They magnetize super easy. And when I first got the 4P, Freewell offered to send me their hard stop NDs, and these are really good. The image quality out of them is fantastic from what I've seen. All of the stuff that I've shot on this has been on these. Most of the time, I'm either using the ND32 or the ND64, depending on what kind of environment I'm in. And essentially, they're, sunglasses for your camera. I don't need to explain that very much. But if you, again, are going for like ultimate image quality, you have more of a controlled environment, you have time to switch these in and out, fantastic, and I would definitely recommend them. That being said, the thing that's more about these for me is the idea to be able to pocket these. So I've picked up two different options. The one for the 4P is the small rig one. It's the only VND that I found so far. I'm sure more people are going to make them now. I actually hate how this looks, but having a variable ND filter where you can just change the settings really fast, that's kind of more what I'm looking for in a camera like this. I can literally put this in my back pocket, in a side pocket, in a small bag, whatever, pull it out, and then adjust the exposure this way. I find that worth the trade-off of worse image quality overall. It's not that bad. It's not something that someone's going to notice, but it is one of the things that a hard stop ND is just going to be better. And so if you have the ability to use a hard stop ND and you are more interested in better image quality, I would definitely recommend these. And the cheaper one that I found, the one for the Luna Ultra, is the KNF Concept. It was like probably half the price of the small rig one. And it does have a color shift, but it's one of those things where as long as it's consistent, then I can deal with it. So having a VND for both of these is really useful, but it's definitely not the same as using hard stop NDs, which I would recommend if you're going for best image quality. If you're going for convenience, you can use a variable ND. So like I mentioned, both of these are fantastic cameras. I think that having more options like this in the market is amazing. I think that the Pocket 4P here is really like the game changer of the two. Having dual lenses is something that I've wanted forever and has been something that I don't know, it's the thing that like makes this so much more useful for me if I'm going out to film YouTube videos or something, because I like to be able to film some B-roll behind the scenes stuff with a separate focal length, and only having one on my Osmo Pocket 3, it just always felt like a compromise. These feel like a lot less of a compromise. Now, if you're, again, after ultimate image quality, ultimate dynamic range, this is incredible. That being said, if you're in the States, are you going to be sacrificing a ton to be getting the Luna Ultra? In some degree, it just depends on like what you value the most. I think that I've made stuff I really love on both of these cameras, and they're not really that far apart in terms of overall usefulness. So it really just depends on what your preferences are, how you're gonna use the cameras. Simple things like if you wanna carry more cables around, if you want the microphones to be smaller, do you want D-Lock? You know, there's just so many things that I can't answer for you, but I just wanted you to have the information, hopefully see a lot of examples, and then you can decide for yourself. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to watch my full video on the Luna Ultra, you can check that out up here. Let me know if you want to see a full video on the Pocket 4P, and then check out the video up here that YouTube thinks you'd like to see next, and I will see you in one of those.